Ibom Air will have to put that air hostess up for investigation. I still feel to a large extent that she should sue because it was a deliberate attempt to shame her. There was no reason why their hands went to her breast in the first place, why they pulled out her inner. It was a deliberate attempt to shame her. And after doing that, disgraced her, put her breasts in public, they now filmed the only part that showed where she was reacting. You cannot hit me and expect me not to react.
This is early morning tea.
I'm sorry.
Mammary glands.
Mammary glands, whatever.
Vital assets.
Whatever, vital assets. No, let's say it the way it is. Because it's very painful. They had triggered her within. The air hostess had done her job. Then she called for cover and started filming. And you pulled her down and you hurt her. So Ibom Air, I still feel this case was taken up. This is not to exonerate the fact that she also did slap the air hostess. But as at the time where the air hostess said, "You are slapping me, you had instigated the fight. And you had treated her in a very appalling way. And now you were quick to say, you are slapping me, so that you look vindicated." She too must be penalized for that slap.
For that slap, if she was provoked, I don't know what you say about that. If she was provoked and it was in self-defense, then she has a case. Because if you're slapping somebody, if somebody had done that to you and you retaliated in self-defense, that's something totally different. But it's the culture of shame and humiliation. When you do something wrong, the first thing they want to do is to attack your person. First of all, she was called a prostitute, so it's a very easy insult for a lot of Nigerian women. You do something, you say you don't want to buy something from a vendor anymore, they say, "Ashawo, get out." You say you don't want to do something, "Ashawo." In fact, after a while, it becomes almost a compliment. So it's a culture of shame and humiliation that must end as part of our culture here in Nigeria. And then the second part is that I think we should stop comparing her and calling her Kwamtu. Because the situations now that she has come out to express herself are vastly different. In one instance, he was resisting doing what was right in terms of aviation security. In this instance, she wasn't. She asked for help, and it was the high-handedness of the air hostess that brought her to this situation. So it wasn't like she was resisting. She's not Kwamtu. It was just a situation that was badly managed because of the cultural thing of older, younger, who are you to talk to me, who are you not to talk to me. Now, going to the fact as to whether or not her face, she saved face, or the exposure of her personal assets, on whether or not she's received a lot of compensation does not hold water. If you were me, and you give me $100 million or whatever, but you expose me in such a manner, there's no amount of compensation for that. To say that, oh, because I'm now famous, it's embarrassing. That's not the kind of fame that I want. It's embarrassing. And like she mentioned in the video that she released, it's beyond now, it's her future. The internet never forgets. Her children will Google her name and see. Her children's friends in school will mock her children potentially for this. How do you pay money for this kind of thing? So it's a culture that must be addressed, and also a culture that must change. How do we change this systematically? How can we report this? And that is why there must be punishment for everyone involved, not just the air hostess, but every single person who was there and did nothing that was an official.
All the men who looked at that video twice, thrice, some looked at it 10 times. They too must be identified.
I agree.
And punished.
Even the men, Dr. Abbati, even the men that shared it on many WhatsApp groups.
Yes.
Everybody.
All the men that looked at it more than once, they are all guilty.
A poor girl, turn her into
Can you imagine?
No, it's
so sad.
I think Dr. Abbati himself should even be punished and should go for confessions as well. Yes, Dr. Abbati, you need to go for confession because you saw it and I'm sure you looked at it more than once or twice. Anyway, that is by the way. What are we saying? What are we talking about? You see, sometimes I think that our Nigerian system, sometimes we need orientations in too many places. Yes, sometimes you see some persons who are in position, who are in some place that they are not supposed to be. Some people are just there. Well, I think the reasons why all this is because of lack of employment. Unemployment, the high rate of unemployment and joblessness. So you find people doing something they don't have passion for, something that they don't know, they don't want to do. You go to the hospital, you see a lot of persons bearing nurses, and they don't have this compassion. They don't know about the job. They're not supposed to be there. So that is just one of the reasons. You just see people who are in positions where they are not supposed to be. So, and that is causing all these things. And again, training, proper, adequate training is lacking in some organizations, because if these guys are trained very well, they should understand their job and understand their place, or know their limitation. But you see, lack of training and consistent training, to equip these employees, to equip these guys, it will salvage some of those things if they are constantly undergoing some training about the nature of the work they are doing, knowing fully well that, okay, yes, you guys are serving public. It will go a long way in shaping and helping to modify, all these excesses, that we always see in our public space. I think that is just the thing. Well, the last time I saw one lawyer that came out to talk, about this same thing, that boarded, they say that we're on board together with this lady. So if you could hear the lawyer's part of the story, you will understand that yes, Ibon Air deserve to be sanctioned for what they did to this girl. Yeah, because some person will be like, did you not see the girl slapping? Did you not see her slapping, pushing the air hostess, doing this, then that? Something has triggered before now, just like RUFAI said, something has happened before then. It was at that point that the girl had to start recording, at that point of exit that she now had to. So why blocking her? Why does that hostess has the right for whatsoever? Why blocking her way? Why don't you want her to step down? And then at the end of the day, you now start calling security to come and drag her down. So if you look at that case, if you look at that scenario critically, you will understand that the else they actually over push their boundary. They over, over reacted. And so it now triggered this lady. And at the end of the day, look at the results now. Well, I am calling on meaningful Nigerians and organizations to continue training their staffs, to continue, especially those ones that are serving in public. It is very, very urgent to save some of these things. Anyway, that's my reactions, and I feel I totally agree with RUFAI, Dr. Abbati, and Ayo, what they have said in the studio, because the nature of treatment method to that girl is something that will never be forgotten, almost in a lifetime. So, and I pray that she even have that mind. I mean, that's to bear it, and because it's out there, a lot of persons have it out there, and internet never forgets. Tomorrow, once she comes out, you never can tell the position she might want to climb tomorrow, and this video will surface. That is how wicked and how bad it can be, and it will tarnish her image. It will affect her and all of that. We are looking at it right now, like it might look very simple, but then it is not as easy and as simple as we are seeing it. Anyway, that's my opinion. Share your opinion respectively on the comment section. Let us know what you feel about RUFAI. Do you agree with RUFAI, Dr. Abbati, and Ayo in the studio? To me, yes, I do agree. And Ibon Air should go in for it. They should be sued. They should know that, so that next other time it will not repeat itself even to another passenger, because we don't know who next this is going to be. So precautions need to be taken and adequate training, so that it can it will sound as a deterrent to them that these things are really not right. They will know how to go about training their staff as against some of these things. All right, thank you very much, and see you in the next video. Bye.